Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered 12. I covered.
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Primetime Thursday presented by Prime Sportsbook here for the Bostonian versus the book. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault. We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the book. Same on Twitter and X. We are replayed on Sports Grid TV and Sirius XM channel 159. And thank you to Sonic. This is his Happy Halloween overlay for us here today. Appreciate his work, getting us set for everything. Dave, you've been at a Halloween parade. I've been at a Halloween parade. Festivities, and I'm guessing it's either Elmer Fudd or Alex Caruso for you today. How are you?
Why not both?
Okay.
You want to go there? Why not both? Yes. Alex Caruso doesn't play for the Chicago Bulls anymore, but I already had the shooter shirt. So I said real quickly, Kendall said, come to the parade. Don't embarrass me. I said, this is probably the least embarrassing thing that I could probably wear. So I went like this, took a picture, said hello, watched the kids. Listen, for all of you dads out there, if your kid's got a Halloween parade, it's not for you, it's for them. Just go and stand there and watch them walk by. It literally means way more to them. So you don't get them back. There's not going to be no more Halloween parades as they get older. You're lucky if they call you. We had a huge debate this morning. I'll get to that about Halloween candy was my favorite thing about today. So yeah, this is it could be Elmer Fudd. That's fine.
It could be.
That doesn't matter.
Adam Bjorn from Prime will join us here in a couple of minutes. He's already in the green room, so we'll get him on here in just 1 second. Talk about the Breeders' Cup. Tomorrow we'll be at the Breeders' Cup. Randy Moss, NBC Sports, joins us a little bit later on in the program about the Breeders' Cup. He will be at the Breeders' Cup, as we will be at the Breeders' Cup tomorrow, as we will get on planes and fly to San Diego tomorrow to bring you what will be a really fun road show for us. Yes, you guys are going to hear the chirping. I can't change anything because I was so cold in October. I went 4-0 last night, so I can't change anything. So I'm leaving the
You can't even change the battery.
No, everything's staying as is. Nothing is changing. We changed the overlay, but nothing is changing. So I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious. So we're leaving the chirping as is. So I'll shut my mic off at times when we do the interview, so you guys aren't having to be subjected to it. But if dogs or other issues or people saying that I can hear your dog is freaking me out, this chirping is going on. So what is going on? So just for today, I'm not very superstitious, but I hadn't had a 4-0 in the whole entire month, and so the chirping was starting in the background. I went 4-0 last night, so we're gonna leave it as is. We're not gonna play around with it. So we leave it as
ridiculous, but I understand it. It's the good luck smoke detector. Good call, Sonic the Rich.
Before we get to anything, you mentioned it's your favorite thing about today. So this morning, our friends at DoorDash came out with a survey for the top Halloween candies.
Okay.
By region.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of Gushers tropical fruit flavored snacks?
I don't even Gushers. Okay. I didn't know them as Gushers, but now I think I know what they are. I think I've seen the kids eat these. Yes.
All right. As the number one thing in the state of Nevada?
Come on, bro.
As the number one thing in the state of Massachusetts?
What are you talking about? This
as
is
the number
ridiculous.
one thing in Florida? Like, what is this? This is like, I get the Reese's Pieces or the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups dominating. That makes complete sense to me. I get that. I kind of understand the Twix obsession, and I kind of understand the Snickers. Kit Kats are fine. Mike and Ike's and M&M's are fine. Airheads and what are we doing with number two, and how is it this dominant? This makes no sense to me.
I don't know what any of this is.
right?
Yeah, I don't know what any of this is. Mike and Ike chewy candies.
Yeah, I love Mike and Ike's
original.
phenomenal.
I love
Yeah.
Mike and Ike's, but
I'm
Mike and
down.
Ike's is like Indiana, right? I mean,
What's that?
it's good at times, but
Okay.
it's not a top. It's not one of the old standbys. Twix, Snickers, Kit Kat. I mean, you can't compare that.
No, nerds.
Those. Come on. Reese's peanut butter cups.
What's a trolley sour bite crawlers gummy candy? What is that?
Oh, the kids love those. The trolleys. They
Don't
love
know
those.
Don't know what those are. Never heard of a trolley. I was like looking at this today. I was like, how did this come to be? Like the West Coast, everyone's in agreement. In New England, Connecticut, in Rhode Island, agreement as well. Maine, in New York, in New Jersey, in Maryland, in Delaware.
Listen,
Florida.
This is crap. We're going to be inundated with maps and colors for the next week, 2 weeks.
Oh, God, yeah, with the election, yes.
Oh, it's just going to be nonstop.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So why not just make a Halloween candy supreme in your state map and just make it up? That's ridiculous.
It does feel like it's made up. So I don't know. DoorDash.
The map stinks. Chef Benny said it in the chat. Chef Benny's right. No, it's not shots at Indiana. Indiana's great.
Okay.
Just like Mike and Ike's are, every 5 years. Like it's good. Or at the movies only. Like Indiana basketball, tremendous to go to a game and all that. Come on.
So your
favorite candy in the chat right now. You get one. What is it?
Sweet tarts. Sweet tarts.
Oh.
Wow.
Sweet tarts. And he said they're like crack to me.
Interesting.
I mean, I put it on the Twitter at Sports BK Consig this morning because I'll just tell the story now before we get to Adam and all the things. There's Reese's. Butterfinger. Who said Butterfinger? That's interesting. Konowinski said payday. Sneaky good. Payday, sneaky good. Otto knows Twix, of course.
White Kit Kat. What?
Strong. Listen, that's sneaky. That is a pro right there. King of car seats call. The white Kit Kat. Unbelievably good. Mars bar. Chevy P. Mars bar.
Still make those? Candy corn. You're now exiled, Pierre.
Oh, Pierre in the cut, my brother. Oh my gosh. Candy corn is a Halloween item, but not a candy. I don't even know what to say right now.
Right.
I'll save it for favorite thing about
okay.
That.
How do you feel about this Halloween costume?
It's amazing.
Macaulay Culkin dressed up as Joe Burrow.
He looks just like him. I love it. You don't like this?
I do. It's just really funny. It's just funny.
It's just perfect.
Funny. It's good.
Yes.
It's a good. I do like a good look-alike costume. Like if you can pull that off, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it works. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong about that costume.
No, it's
great.
Just, unless you're Joe Burrow, maybe you don't want to be, Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone. That's
somebody
Christmas.
Dresses up like you for Halloween. That's a good thing, right?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I guess so. I guess it's a good thing. It can be. I don't know. It can be negative sometimes, but do you see what? Do you see what ex-girlfriend of Bill Belichick went as last night for Halloween?
I got to be honest, it's not on my radar. There was more important things going on last night with the World Series.
She dressed up as the main character for Kill Bill, the movie Kill Bill.
I mean, that's pretty witty. I kind of like
pretty
that.
Subtle.
That's pretty good. Kill Bill.
Yeah, Kill Bill.
Yeah. She might. She's 27.
Yeah, 20. Yes, his girlfriend's 27. She's living in his house on Martha's Vineyard still, I believe. His $2 million house. So she can't kill him yet. He's still responsible.
I mean, doing some other things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if someone takes out Bill, we know where to look.
Bill may go out the way that you can only hope to go out if you're going to go out.
Big business. I thought the same thing, that Ryan Clark dressing up as Bill Belichick was out of bounds. I thought that was out of bounds too. I'll give you that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's not not something I was very surprised that was like, I was like, really? So if we reverse that, not going to be seen the same way. Like that's not going to go over the same way. That's going to be seen a little bit on the not okay scale to do that. So when I saw that, I was like, ooh, okay, that's a double standard, but all right, sure.
I mean, did they know each other?
No, he went like full makeup. He had the full white face on. Like he went full on. Like he went full.
I haven't seen it. Did he look
he
like
went full makeup. Yeah, not really. No, it was okay. It was awkward. Let's just call it that. It was
okay.
It was awkward. All right, we need some winners, right? We're going to the track tomorrow. Got to find a way to get to the window to cash some tickets.
We need help.
We need a lot of help. Boy, do we ever need help. And we're going to bring in our guy, Adam Bjorn, to help us do exactly that here on the Boston Versus the Book. Adam, how are you? Thank you for being here. We appreciate your time. And boy, oh boy, help us out here. We don't know what we're doing tomorrow.
Well, I mean, this is almost, I think I've been thinking about it all week. My second best weekend after the Masters weekend. I think this is, for a horse guy, this is, global horses all coming into one place. But I will, speaking of your 4-0 that you mentioned earlier, Saturday night, we did it again. 4 in a row we are now. We had the Arizona Cardinals against Miami as the play of the week. So,
yep.
Yeah, we're pushing through. But back to the horses. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, there's 14 races.
Adam.
$10 million.
We had Mike Smith on yesterday, legendary Hall of Fame jockey. We had on Todd on Tuesday talking about this international, like, not invasion, but there's horses coming over from other countries that are coming to win this thing. Like, they're coming, and everybody keeps telling me, check the track because the speed is going to hold. Anything?
Yeah. So the one thing with this track is a short straight to the finish. Generally, the front runners can hold on a bit more. You don't have that. When you have a longer straight, it gives the other horses coming from the back longer time to wind up to sort of get to that finish line. But with the short turn on this one, it's a lot tighter, and it gives the opportunity for those leaders to have a bit more of an opportunity to hold on. So there's a couple of sprint races that are around a bend that normally don't go around a bend. So there's some experience from horses that have ran on this track before. So there's definitely something to look at. If there's a horse that's ran well over this track, over certain distances, it's worthwhile having them in mind for this weekend as well.
So when you go to do your handicap, how different is this in terms of just breaking down the races? Is it the same as a Preakness? Is it the same as a Kentucky Derby type, or is there more work going into this because of the international flair and the number of horse races we're going to see over the next 2 days?
It's a shit ton of work. I mean, generally I start taking notes earlier on in the year, just different races, whatnot. And then there's a lot of win and your ins and things like that. But you've got horses coming from all over the place. A lot of them never ran against each other. A lot of them are running on different tracks, different turf tracks, different dirt tracks, things like that. It looks like it's going to be fairly mild weather, so there's no heat, which can often, hurt the Europeans. So it looks like it's, again, good conditions for everyone to run in. It's a lot. I mean, it's just jam-packed. Kentucky Derby, there's 20 horses. You might have 50 in January, and gets down to what the ultimate number is. I don't know. This is 150 to 200 horses that you're sort of going through, and then they're from all over the place, which is the great thing about it, because everybody has different opinions. The value of your, winning prices, if you happen to win a winning price, is usually a lot more value than you see at other, normal events per se. And again, depending on where you are in the world, there's, different prices and different pools and different fixed odds and different all kinds of things. So when you're playing a global game, this is a lot.
It's a lot. What about Friday versus Saturday? Because that's been like, we're going to be there tomorrow. We're looking at Friday specifically, but Saturday has some some really big races, like good competition. I think there's more unknown than recent years based on the discussions that I've had with people. But when you're looking at it with a lot and the different things, how does Friday's card compare to Saturday's card from a handicapping standpoint?
Yeah, so this has changed over the years. It used to be a lot of the filly female races on Friday and then the male ones on a Saturday. Now they've got all the babies running on Friday. So now you've got 2-year-olds traveling over from Ireland and England, first time probably on a plane. There's a lot of nuances to this. And yeah, it's wide open. The more I looked at these races, the more wide open it looked. There was, maybe 1 or 2 favorites that you could key, but there wasn't a lot where if you're going long into pick 3s, pick 4s, pick 6s, there's a lot to play with. There was one tomorrow, one of the favorites, Lake Victoria, I think in the 3rd race of the day, that 8 to 5, she looks like a great price at 8 to 5. And I don't bet favorites. Like, I'm against the favorites literally every race. But she looks good there. But the other aspect of it, and the first race of the day, the juvenile turf sprint, you've got O'Brien with 2 really good horses, the 7 and the 12. Now, if you like O'Brien and you just box that up as an exacta, the price will pay a lot better than what it normally does in the past. And speaking of that race as well, I've sort of got a Japanese double to start the day where there's a Japanese horse in race 6 and a Japanese horse in race 7. So doubling those up, potentially it'd be 20 to 1 or bigger as well if both of them come up. So there's some little games to sort of play, and you get an idea of watch those early races before the Breeders' Cup races start, so you get an idea of the pace of the track, if speed's holding, and those kind of things as well.
So are you going to be doing anything live tomorrow? Like you do these watch alongs and all this? Are you personally doing anything, or are you competing in that contest?
So I'm trying to do both. I've registered. I'm doing it through one of the totes. I've got to get some stuff sorted out today. But my plan is to do it live on Twitch, YouTube, because ultimately a lot of this stuff is decisions are made, unlike knowing what the spread is on a Monday or Tuesday ballpark for a Sunday game. These horses can be anywhere on the prices, and I'm looking for having priced up every race to kind of 100% no house vig, looking for the overlays and things like that. So to give an example of one that I just put out an order on a little while ago, in the Classic, there's a horse called Next. Well, it was 8 to 1 on the morning line, and it's 25 to 1 to 40 to 1 fixed odds around the world. So it's really sort of picking those spots. Now, if it comes up 20 to 1 or more in the Classic on the tote when it comes, I'll be hammering it. Like, I was against the favorite anyway, but if I can get 20s and 25s, and I'll be going hard all day long. But if it's 6s or 8s, what the morning line is, well,
let it go.
So that's where race to race, it can change based on the odds and what I'm seeing as value.
How much are you reading the board race to race? Because I used to, like, when I would sit with guys or I would watch guys in the book or take their bets, they would sit there and, they did the parade with the horses and the people were talking on a screen, and they were sitting there just watching the board. This went up, this went down, this went up, this went down, this win pool jumped up, this show pool, somebody dumped a shitload of money in it, and they would just then wait till about 2 minutes before the race and then come up and bet. Like, are you looking at the board, or is most of your work done and you're concentrating on the track or the jockey or any of that stuff?
Most of the work's done, but I'm looking at the board because, again, I can end up horses that I had zero interest or looking to get on them going into race day. But, I marked it at 10 to 1 and it's 30s. Like, okay, what's going on here? I'll go at it in those instances. So there's a lot of, I have ideas, but the one good thing about Breeders' Cup and that is your ideas can flip on a dime once you see some prices and some value. Yes. And you've sort of just got to jump into it. And then there's the underlying things like in the US, you have your win, place, show, where we're used to just having win and place. So there's often times where there's especially in Breeders' Cup, that show price where maybe it should be, minus 200 and it's suddenly plus 150 to show sort of thing. And these pools are so big, you can't sort of bet enough to really disturb that price as well. So there's some underlying opportunities there on horses that just are priced based on, again, trainers, jockeys that people all sort of navigate towards, and the unknowns are often where the value is found.
Adam, when we hear younger horses, juveniles getting into these big races, sometimes crowd noise can be a factor, and they can be, either thrown off their game or they can be disrupted in some form or fashion. Does that happen at the Breeders' Cup? Is the crowd big enough? I haven't ever been there. Is it big enough to make an impact on these younger horses?
Yeah, I mean these are real crowds. When it comes to Breeders' Cup, while you have horses coming from all over the world, you have spectators coming from all over the world. So you get generally full houses. And as I said last week, Del Mar is one of the most beautiful tracks in the world. I think anyone that gets an opportunity to head to Del Mar for a Breeders' Cup is definitely going to take the opportunity. Unfortunately, I'm just off the Atlantic City Expressway and won't be there this weekend.
How's this? That's where we're going to be broadcasting from.
What?
How's that?
That's our spot?
That's our spot. Does that work?
Oh,
that works. That works for the paddock. So what's your dash time to get to look at the track?
I don't know.
You got to get under there. It's fast.
You got to tell me.
I'm wearing tennis shoes. I ain't wearing no dress shoes. I'm wearing tennis shoes because we're going to be at there and then under. You go right through there. I know exactly where that's at. Boy, that's going to be I'm going to be very distracted. I'm just telling you right now, and I ain't going to be looking at a lot of horses. I was going to be all over the place. That's a really good spot.
That is a great spot there. Yeah.
That's a really good spot. I'm very, very excited right now. I can't believe it. So we talked to Todd, and even Mike hinted at it a little bit. It's in San Diego, so there's not going to be real weather, but he was talking about possible, like it's 40 degrees here in Vegas in the morning. It is like highs of 70 maybe in California. But if it rains, does it mess up all the work? Like if it rains Friday night or early Saturday morning, you put in all this work, you do all this stuff, and you go, oh, the hell with this.
No, because I have my little, and again, usually using my 4-pen, my little colored circles that has anything that potentially has rain involved, just underlined, or little comments about being a mudder or having run in the wet and that before. So it's generally, I mean, I looked at it, they were talking about mid 60s to high 60s, some possibilities of it. So it's been in there. There was definitely no weather map saying it was going to be clear and fine and dandy all week. So there's some notes there. And again, depends on for the turf races, that there might be an impact there. But with the dirt races, these tracks drain so well these days. I mean, we've seen it the last few years with the Kentucky Derby, the amount of rain they got, and then, stops 30 minutes before and the track's dried out and they're, good to go kind of thing. So it really needs a lot of rain to mess up, too much to go from a turf track from good to soft or anything like that.
All right. I know that the handicap can change. It's Thursday. We're dealing with Friday and Saturday, but give me a bet. What's a bet I should make Friday, tomorrow, when we get to the track tomorrow? What's a good play? I know the odds are going to move and change around, but what's a good horse or a good parlay of some sort, stacking different horses? What's the bet on Friday?
Yeah, so I'm starting with that Japanese double, the race 6, Ikoro Sig into American Bikini, which sounds like a Dave horse there.
Race baby.
Into race 7.
Another one.
Again, as I said, should be 20-1. And then Henry Matisse in the last race, I think it's race 10 of the juvenile day as well, should be around 12-1. So they're sort of the concentration points on Friday there at the moment.
What is at stake for this contest? Explain this to people that are viewing or listening to the show later. Like, this is a big deal. Like, this contest that you're entering, it's a high entry fee, but like this is I don't even know what to compare it to somebody who's either a casual gambler, because I got asked this after your appearance last week. They're like, what's that contest he's in? I'm like, this is the prize joy, like pride of horse handicapping. No?
Yeah. So generally, I mean, this one, it's 10,000 entry, 2,500 goes to the pool, and then 7,500 is a bankroll. So your 7,500 is your money. If you win money, it's your money. If you lose money, you lost your money. You can end up in zero, like I did a few years ago when I played this. And ultimately, the prize pool can get up over $1 million. I think 360 odd thousand is expected first place prize pool. And if you happen to win first prize, which is 360, well, then obviously you've probably won 150,000 betting, because again, it's your money, the 7,500 and the 2,500. It's kind of like a poker tournament where you're paying your fee to go into it. Unlike this, poker, the chips aren't yours at the end of the day. But this one, it's your money. So you're risking it, and then whatever you win. And then if you happen to be up, 10, 15,000, and you're like, screw the contest, it cost me 2,500, but I'm up for the day, and you pull the plug, well, you can do that as well. But that's where, there's a lot of tactics. I've done a number of these tournaments that I've gotten completely wrong. I've gone sort of trying to hit exotics and hit these big things,
right,
where I've started to just try and roll up into sort of even money parlays, like look for some show bets, look for some place bets, double your money, go hard, go early, and then sort of build it up from there. But again,
there's no one way to win this thing, right? Like, I mean, you've tried it a certain way, and now you're trying it a certain other way. Like, just hit a double or something, and that'll jump it up, right? Like something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, I didn't enter it last year, but I hit a double with Fierceness in the Juvenile into another horse, which ended up paying, I think, about 80, 85 to 1. Now, if I had done that on the track, that would have put you in a good position. Right. And then obviously, as you get near the end of the contest, and it's with Saturday, it's actually interesting because the biggest race of the day is in the middle of the card with the Classic. And then they've got other races afterwards, the mile and the dirt mile. So when you get to those last few races, you're kind of looking at the leaderboard to see where you're positioned and what kind of tactic you need to do there. Now, the other aspect of it is you have to bet so many races for each of the 2 days. So if there's 5 races on Friday, you've got to bet at least 3 and bet $500 in those 3. And then on Saturday, of the 9 races, you've got to bet, I think, 6 or 7 of them for at least 500 in each of those. So it's not like you can just take the 7,500, look for one runner and just lump it on and go for it. You've got to strategically pick your spots, and maybe you spend 500 here just knowing, I might be throwing away the 500, taking a little bit of a shot, and then really rolling into, one of the different races with bigger bets kind of thing.
Adam, you guys are in Jersey, Ohio as well, but you have a game tonight in primetime involving a 2-6 Jets team that is favored over a 6-2 Texans team. A lot of people are confused by this. How do you feel about this number tonight? And what are you guys seeing from an action perspective? Because I'm assuming Jet fans feel like, all right, our team finally is going to win a game. We've lost 5 straight.
Yeah, it seems like that's the mentality of the Jets fans and the Jets backers. Because I woke up this morning to a message like, how the hell are the Jets favorites from one of my guys in Jamaica? And I'm like, who are they playing again? And yeah, I don't know, but that's just the way, the money talks. At the end of the day, you put up a number, the money tells you where you end up. And it's just, yeah, I wouldn't want to be on the Jets for this one. And
I know
it looks like right now we're beyond the Texans, so we'll see what happens.
Selfishly, Saturday there's a big game, and it's going to do more handle than the Jets and the Texans are going to do tonight. Penn State's playing Ohio State. Penn State is at home. It's the last game in the rotation number. It's a morning game, which if it was a night game, it would do at least 50% more handle, but that's neither here nor there. They don't care about the books or the handle when they make the schedule. Penn State's undefeated. Ohio State is not. Ohio State is -3.5. Adam, not asking for a pick. I'm just asking where this game is going to either end up, and does Penn State have a chance to win the game?
Well, everyone has a chance, but the money's saying Ohio State right now. But again, there hasn't been a ton of money. And looking at it, we've got assassins, we've got the pros, and they're staying away from it for the most part. So it seems like the number is kind of where it should be. Again, we've got another 48 hours or something until it rolls around. But so far, we haven't done a lot of business on that particular game. And again, which sort of says the number is where it needs to be right now. And we'll see sort of how it goes from there. But I had spoken to another book, and they said, it's the squares are on Ohio State, which doesn't surprise me there. But, Penn State's done nothing wrong so far.
You'll know before it comes out in the news whether Aller, the quarterback, is playing or not. I always used to say that. All they need to do is ask the guys that run the books who's playing and who's not, because the Assassins and the Razor Blades all love to bet it based on, they're waiting to see if they hear that Aller's not playing, they're going to lay it, and the game's going to close 4.5. Now, if they find out that Aller's playing, they may be cautious and wait. But they don't tell you that on ESPN or any of the other major networks. They should do that.
It's true.
Yeah, I was going to say there's nothing leaning either way at this point. But that's right now it's sort of sitting there, and it seems like the number's going to hold up. So that might tell you what the information may be.
Speaking of ending up, how did the World Series go for you guys with the Dodgers winning last night and taking care of the Yankees? I'm assuming a good result?
We needed the Dodgers last night. Needed the Dodgers in Game 3. Didn't need them in Game 4. That one went against us. But all in all, nothing earth-shattering.
How was the in-game last night? It was 5-0 Yankees, and I couldn't wait to bet plus 4.5, plus 130 on the Dodgers. You're shaking your head. It was bad. It was
no. It was They got taken. The Yankees, they betted at the short numbers, and those are the kind of things. And when they got up 6-5, I actually was at a bar and sort of, had to send some other guys off for early flights this morning. So went up and, saw the 2 runs. But that's the kind of game you want. You want the favorite to get up, come back, lay the short price favorite, get up again. They come again at 6-5. And then, 7-6, they were trying to scurry and get out at the end there. But that was a good one last night.
My God, what a game and what a collapse by the Yankees. Up, we haven't talked about it, but 5-0 up there. And my goodness gracious, that was not how the Yankees thought the year. They were making plans for Game 6. Yankee fans were like, okay, we're good. Judge is hitting. We got all the momentum. Here we go.
That was the funny thing. We were at a bar, and the Yankees guy was every time they were up early, going nuts at 5-0, and then we hear this, what the, and then we look around and we're like, where'd the Yankees guy go? And he was out the door at 5-5. So
he knew better. He knew better.
It.
Adam, thank you for the time. We appreciate it. Best of luck for your plays this weekend. We're going to talk to Randy Moss from MSC Sports here. We're going to keep the hockey, the horse racing talk going here.
Are you going to you're going to be on your Twitter handle doing the live feed? All right,
I'll be on Twitter and that. So
all right, very good.
Adam Bjorn too on Twitter to go ahead and do that. Adam, thank you for the time. We appreciate it. We'll catch up next week. Adam Bjorn from Prime joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. He is back on BVB. He is the one and only Randy Moss.
Man.
We will be at the Breeders' Cup, Randy. We can't wait to see you. How are you? Welcome back to the show.
Doing good. Those Yankees are like a racehorse that had a 5-length lead in mid-stretch and then stopped to a walk. That was not pretty.
Where are you right now? You're clean shaven. You look great. That shot behind you. Where are you right now?
I am at a hotel just outside of Del Mar on the balcony. I thought you guys would enjoy it.
Gorgeous.
There's no palm trees, really.
That's okay.
But, I apologize for that. But you can do a whole lot worse than being in Del Mar, California right now.
Yeah, Matt, show him where we're going to be tomorrow because Randy's very familiar. This is where we're going to be tomorrow. Is that a good spot, Randy?
That's a fabulous spot. You're going to see the horses up close and personal in the paddock. That's where the surf meets the turf, right there at Old Del Mar.
Yeah, that's we'll be able to smell the horses actually and everything right there, right?
Got it. Hopefully you won't smell the worst part of the horses.
Yes, that's true, but that's okay. All right, so we've been talking, and Adam Bjorn just gave us American Bikini, the same thing that we got when we talked to Todd from FanDuel TV on this horse on Friday. This is going to be an international feel. It's got a Japanese tinge to it with a number of Japanese horses that are coming over here. What are you hearing early about this invasion, if you want to call it that, of Japanese horses? And what do you make of what could happen for horses like American Bikini?
This Japanese invasion, if you want to call it that, influx, whatever, is long overdue. The Japanese, they won 2 races at Del Mar the last time the Breeders' Cup was here in 2021. And we all thought that would just completely open the floodgates for Japanese entrants, just like they've done in Dubai on Dubai World Cup Day, and just like they've done in Saudi Arabia in the 5 years since they created their major race called the Saudi Cup. Japanese have dominated over there. In the last 5 years of the Dubai World Cup, which is kind of like the Breeders' Cup, right? The Dubai World Cup has a huge $12 million race. Then they've got a lot of other major stakes races on one day. It's a big one-day thing. And the last 27 races that the Japanese have entered on Dubai World Cup Day, 20 of the 27, they finished either first or second. They have just kicked butt around the world. And they've got some really strong horses in this year. American Bikini is one of those. They could actually win the first 2 Breeders' Cup races tomorrow, because the very first race is a race called the Juvenile Turf Sprint. And they've got a freaking rocket ship in that race by the name of Ikoro Sieg. The horse can fly, and he's probably going to be the favorite. He just ran the fastest 6 furlongs ever run by a 2-year-old in Japan. And the Japanese are loaded.
All right. What does your week look like in general? We've talked to a bunch of different people. It was really cool. We talked to Mike Smith yesterday. Do you go to these morning workouts? Do you go and watch all this stuff? Are you are you playing golf in La Jolla, or what are you doing all week? I know you got the suits planned out and everything. I don't need to know about that. I saw what you did for the Derby. What are you doing all week?
God, Dave, I wish I could play golf here. It's a brutal work schedule. It really is. We got Jerry Bailey and I both got here on Monday, and it's basically we ride together to the track at 6:30 a.m. And we're working from 6:30 a.m. until about 7 o'clock at night. Take a break for dinner, and then we're in our hotel rooms working again until 10:30, 11 o'clock. And this is every day. The only reason I'm at the hotel right now is I'm a little bit under the weather, and I don't want to get other people sick at the racetrack. So, but I've been just diving in. 14 races and full fields in most of the races, and all those trainers and jockey stories and owner stories and videos to watch. And Jerry likes to say, and I agree with him, it's like trying to drink water out of a fire hose.
Right?
You just do the best you can.
Go ahead, Matt.
No, I'm curious from your perspective, covering this race versus covering other major races. Is there a big difference? Is there more work? Is there less work? Is there, obviously the pool is bigger and the money is bigger, but is the workload heavier due to the fact that these races are unique in that we're dealing with older horses and younger horses, international horses? Is the workload heavier for you?
Yes, the workload is considerably heavier for 2 reasons. Number one is just the sheer volume, right? When we do a normal race, like when we, a weekend in September or October, or, the Derby preps, things like that, we typically, by the time we go on the air, Jerry or I will have, and we will collaborate on it, we will have talked to pretty much every trainer with horses in the race, quite a few of the jockeys, quite a few of the owners. We'll know every storyline front and back of those horses. It's impossible to do that at the Breeders' Cup. You just can't. I mean, you do the best you can, but you just can't do it. And then the other part of it is, as you pointed out, you get a big influx of horses from Japan who we knew nothing about, and we got to do extra research. And, England and France and Ireland as well. So it's a challenge, but there's no place I'd rather be.
Talking about a horse flying from another country, like this is so we fly, you fly all over the place. I haven't done as much traveling anyone even close to you, but like you sit on a flight and you feel uncomfortable. How do you handicap how a horse is gonna come out of a trip from Japan, Ireland? How do you do that?
Like nowadays, air travel for racehorses has been refined to the point that if you're betting the horses, unless you hear otherwise, you just kind of have to assume that the horses have traveled over well. It's like flying first class. It's really something. They actually more than often than not, believe it or not, now they FedEx the horses. Federal Express, yeah, FedEx actually bought the primary animal shipment company, which was called Flying Tiger, that ships not only racehorses but zoo animals, elephants, you name it. And FedEx bought them quite a while back, and so they'll have these huge FedEx cargo planes that have been hollowed out, and they'll just load stalls, like 25 stalls or so, I think can fit in most of those planes, max. And they'll just lead the horses up the ramp, and they'll have handlers in there with them, and they'll keep them hydrated. And the horses travel very well for the most part because it's quick, and they try obviously to stay out of turbulence as much as possible. The challenge is not necessarily the travel for some of these racehorses, but it's the totally different type of environment that they're going to get when they get here. The difference in racing in England and Ireland and France is in the United States is massive. The paces are different, the surfaces are different. A lot of times they're used to going clockwise instead of counterclockwise. The weather's different. There's a lot of things that they have to adjust to, but yet the European horses tend to come over here on turf and kick butt because they're just that good.
What will the track be like on Friday and Saturday? We're looking at pretty mild temperatures. Dave made mention in the last segment about the weather here in Vegas. It's not warm here in Vegas by any means. I think the high tomorrow in San Diego is supposed to be somewhere in the lower 60s. Is that good for the track, good for racing, or does that benefit one type of horse versus another?
The weather's going to be spectacular for all the horses. That's that the weather, as long as it doesn't rain. I think there was a chance of some rain in the forecast on Saturday. I think that's now out of the forecast. But no, the weather's great for all the horses here. It really is. Sometimes in Southern California, it's gotten extremely warm, like in the 80s and even in the 90s at the Breeders' Cup at Santa Anita, for example, a few times. When the Breeders' Cup was in Florida way back in the day, you could get some really hot temperatures. And that would work against the European horses because they have more of a climate adjustment there. But now this is perfect. I mean, horses absolutely love this. As far as the racetrack goes itself, again, I want to sound like an old fuddy-duddy, but back in the day, right? Southern California racetracks tended to be very hard dirt tracks. I'm talking about,
yeah,
and turf really, but hard, fast, sun-baked, speed favoring. And so the California horses who were accustomed to that and who were tailor-made for it had a big advantage over the New York horses who would have to ship into California. They just couldn't compete against that kind of speed. With the increased emphasis, and thankfully so, on horse safety, they've created a deeper, safer racing surface in California that's much more like the racing surfaces back east. So you don't get that sort of major difference in racing surface when you ship from east to west anymore. And what we've seen recently in the Breeders' Cups is that New York horses have not only, East Coast horses have not only held their own, but they've even won a lot more often than the California horses.
I used to tell the kids that when we took them back east to play softball, they were like, wow, the ground balls are different. And
really?
well, yeah, because it's rains here and it's softer and it's they called it like sand almost. So it's good to know that happens for horses as well. I've been trying to explain all week because I've been to Del Mar. Matt has never been there. How we're starting off Matt's horse racing experience at Del Mar and not like at the Arkansas Derby or at some track in Cleveland or something like, nothing to besmirch Cleveland, but how cool is Del Mar? Even for you, you've been around this game for a long, long time. Del Mar is the best, is it not?
Oh, I mean, look, I mean, the Arkansas Derby actually is a great place to begin your racing experience as well. But there's no place like Del Mar, in my opinion. I mean, the two, and it differs depending on who you talk to. The two, I would say, boutique racetracks in America that are on top of the bucket list of most people would be Saratoga in upstate New York, which has the best racing of any racetrack in America. It's like Royal Ascot in England. And then there's Del Mar here. And I think this is the most aesthetic venue that you can get anywhere in horse racing. And really, maybe anywhere in the world. You're right on the beach. They used to actually train horses in the ocean way back in the day. They don't do that anymore. But, I mean, you just can't beat the setting here. The setting is just fabulous. If money was no object, everybody would live in Del Mar. It's that nice. And the racetrack has nothing to do with that. That's just a fringe benefit. That you have this fabulous place like Del Mar. And, oh, by the way, it has a Major League racetrack as well.
Unbelievable. Compared to Churchill, is it similar, different, clientele similar, different? Like what's – because you always hear Kentucky. You always hear Churchill Downs is the marquee place in America, no?
Churchill Downs is the best known racetrack in America. Worldwide because of the Kentucky Derby, right? And Churchill Downs has actually done a fantastic job in upgrading their facility over the last 20 years or so. I know, you go back 30 years and friends of mine who would go to Churchill Downs, home of the Kentucky Derby, the country's most legendary racetrack, and they'd go there and they'd be like, oh, really? This is Churchill Downs? But, now they've done a great job in really, really making it a nice place. But it's not Del Mar, facility-wise, venue-wise, community-wise. It's not Saratoga. But it has the Kentucky Derby, and no other racetrack in the world has that, and that'll always make Churchill Downs special.
All right, so Friday happens, Saturday happens, horse racing. You can relax Sunday. You watching football on Sunday?
I watch football every Sunday. Are you kidding? I'm a junkie.
Who are you watching Sunday that you need to watch? I mean, like, let's just.
I sit in front of Red Zone from noon Central until it goes off the air, and then I'm watching Sunday Night Football, and then I watch Monday Night Football, and then I watch Thursday Night Football on Amazon. I worked for NFL Network for 13 years.
Right.
So I became an NFL junkie working for NFL Network, and now I'm hooked into fantasy football. And
who's your team, Randy? Who's your team?
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Not college, NFL team. If you're going to be an NFL guy, you got to give me an NFL team.
I don't have one.
He worked. This, Dave. You worked in the book. He worked. He covered everybody. It leaves you. He's not a fan. He's like the sport, like
That's
you.
Kind of true. I get it.
Look, when I'm working for NFL Network, I can't. You've got to be journalistic here. You can't be. You can't be showing favoritism to any one team or anything like that. But see, I grew up. That's why I told you the Arkansas Derby was actually a good place to get.
That's why I referenced the Arkansas Derby. I did the research as well, sir.
Okay. I grew up in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I actually was in the management at Oaklawn Park at one time. And growing up in Arkansas, you've got no professional team. The closest team to Arkansas was the Dallas Cowboys. They were on TV every Sunday. And I got so sick of watching the Dallas Cowboys when
I love you so much.
AFL and you had Joe Namath and Darryl LaMonica and Lenny Dawson and all this exciting football going on the AFL on NBC. And I would have to watch because my father was hooked on the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
And I'd watch the Cowboys as 20-point favorites with Roger Staubach.
Like punishment. That's boring. That was old.
Yes.
That was like punishment. All right. So are you making a case for the SEC then? Like, because
ask him this. Arkansas is at home against Ole Miss. You guys are 7.5 home dogs. Home dogs in the SEC have been the most profitable that they've been in the last 20 years. Arkansas going to win or cover against Ole Miss this weekend?
I think they can cover. I think they can definitely cover. Arkansas, as you guys know, has has been more often than not, they've been a second-tier team in the SEC. I think Sam Pittman has done a really good job since he's been there. He completely turned the program around as soon as he arrived. I know he's kind of under the gun right now because of probably inflated expectations from Arkansans. But this year's team is a lot better than their record indicates. They've just flat out blown some guys. Oklahoma State. I mean, that was insane that they somehow lost that game.
Yeah.
And there's some other games. A&M, they played really well against Texas A&M. No, wait. It wasn't A&M. They got
no.
Didn't they? Anyway, they played 2 or 3 games. Obviously, Tennessee. I mean, they beat Tennessee at home.
Yes.
So yeah, I think 7.5. I think they can. I think they could cover 7.5. I do.
We've been going back and forth all season, and now it's getting. I mean, it's November 1st tomorrow. And the games all mean more. And I've heard about the SEC, it means more and all this other stuff. And, the biggest game of the week is Penn State, Ohio State. It is the biggest game of the week. I'm a Penn State guy. I mean, we might as well ask you. I was going to ask you about whether you think they're going to let 6 SEC teams in the playoff. Nobody wants to see that except the SEC. But Penn State, Ohio State, Randy. I mean, you could come on the show and say it. It's great to see you. I'm going to hopefully see you tomorrow. Penn State going to beat Ohio State?
I think Ohio State might be a little bit overrated.
Thank you. See?
I do.
Yeah.
I could easily see Penn State winning that game. And
yeah.
But look, you want the best teams in the college football playoff, whether they're in the SEC or whether they're in the Big Ten. Or what's it? Is it the Big 18 now? What is it?
Right.
And you're not going to like this day. I live in Minneapolis. Okay. I'm from Arkansas, but I live in Minneapolis. So I get Big Ten, row the boat, and I turn on the TV and here's Indiana although they're good this year, but back in the, Indiana, Purdue or something like that. I'm like, come on, give me some Ole Miss and Alabama and.
Tell him, Randy. Tell him.
What are you doing right now?
I
go to bat for
Telling
you every day.
Truth.
I don't want to. That's complete. I don't even believe you said that. All right, well then spin it to Sunday night, Mr. NFL. Sunday night they moved the Eagles in the Jacksonville game to the Vikings. The Vikings and the Colts are playing on Sunday Night Football. Everybody in the gambling world's picking against the Vikings.
So would I. What's the spread?
5.5.
Vikings
favored by 5.5 against the Colts. Colts announced yesterday they bench Richardson. They're starting Joe Flacco.
And that's the key, as you know. I mean, Richardson was just horrific. Horrible.
Yeah.
Do nothing.
I mean, from a fantasy perspective, he gets rushing yards. And he can give you a rushing touchdown or 2 and all that. But from a real world football perspective, they can just stack the line and try to worry about stopping Jonathan Taylor and just ignore the pass because he's so inaccurate as a guy who throws the football. But now you get Joe Flacco. I think they're going to get a shot in the arm. I think it'll give them an emotional lift to know that they've got a guy behind center. And it happened before when he was in there when Richardson was hurt. I mean, he played very well. Flacco played extremely well. So I think they can cover 5.5. Yeah.
All right. So the NFL, awesome. College, you're not on the same page. I need a play. So I'm going tomorrow for the first time. We asked our last guest. He looked at American Bikini. He liked that horse a lot in that race. Is there anything either Friday or Saturday that when you started your research, you're like, you know what? I really like that horse to do something special in whichever race that they're going to be in
at a price. Yeah. There are a couple, both on Saturday. There is a horse on Saturday running in the sprint from Japan, and his name is Remake.
Okay.
And because he's from Japan and people don't know a lot about him, he could wind up being, 6 or 7 to 1. He's a really good sprinter. And he's a come from behind horse, which is going to be key in the sprint because the race is just loaded with front running types that are going to compromise each other during the early running of the race. So Remake has got a heck of a chance. And then just completely flipping the script here in the classic, right? The the granddaddy of the Breeders' Cup race, is $7 million. There is a horse at 15-1 in the program right now. His name is Arthur's Ride. He's a beautiful white horse trained by Bill Mott, who's one of the best trainers in the world, who has run races that are fast enough already in his career to win the Breeders' Cup Classic. He's coming off a not so good race, which is why his odds are 15-1. But there's nobody better in America among trainers at circling a race on the calendar and saying, all right, I'm going to have my horse at his peak performance on that day. Whether it's good enough or not, we'll see, but I'll have him ready to roll on that particular day. And if that's the case with Arthur's Ride, I think he'll set the pace. As opposed to Remake, who comes from behind in a race loaded with speed, there's not a ton of, really, really fast early speed in the Classic. He could control the pace because he's 15-1. The other jockeys might kind of leave him alone a little bit and think they could just go get him whenever they want it to. And I think he's a good bet. I really do.
All right, last one for me. Get you out of here because you got to take a rest because you got a very busy couple days. How many people are going to be there tomorrow and Saturday? Like at crowd-wise, we're just trying to get a gauge on, how many people are going to be there. And two, you get one Halloween candy. What are you picking? One.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Fair. Okay.
Even
money.
Attendance, this is kind of, I'm just pulling this out of my butt here, guys, because I don't pay all that much attention to those kind of stats.
I mean, it's going to be full, right? I mean, that's a big place. There's going to be 30,000 people there tomorrow.
I'd say 40. I'd say 40 or 45. Del Mar is not among your largest racetracks in the country in terms of capacity.
Okay.
So it's not going to be like Churchill Downs, but which would have 80 or 90,000 at Churchill Downs.
Okay.
But it'll be a full house. It will.
Okay.
Randy, thank you for the time. We hope to see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Love the conversation. Hopefully have you back on again very soon. Enjoy the weekend. Should be a ton of fun at Del Mar.
Right. And go Hogs.
Take a nap.
That's Randy Moss from NBC Sports joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. Great to get him on from Del Mar, even with him feeling a bit under the weather. Appreciate him doing that for us here today to talk about what's happening at the racetrack tomorrow. We will be live, and like we were mentioning earlier, we will be there from 1 until 3 Pacific time tomorrow. We will be there from 4 until hold on.
What happened?
Did I freeze?
No, you're good.
Oh, I didn't freeze. I can't, but I did freeze. I didn't freeze.
You're not
there we
frozen.
go.
There you go.
I couldn't. It wasn't free.
Nothing
Was going. Nothing was going on the screen. So I thought I was frozen. Roadshow tomorrow, 1 to 3 Pacific time, 4 to 6 Eastern time on our YouTube channel right here and on Twitter and on X. We'll replay on SiriusXM and on Sports Grid TV as we bring you our first ever show from an actual sporting event. We've never been from an event going on as it speaks.
Lucky we are to be where we're going to be. That picture. Put that picture up again.
I can't tell you how lucky because I don't know. I think it looks cool, but I don't know whether what that is. So
everyone runs out. They walk the horses with the jockeys. That's the show track right there. That's the paddock. It's going to look so cool while we're there, but we get to see everything. And then that big screen right there. I mean, if we don't run underneath that little underpass part and go right to the track and watch the race.
Right.
That's fine. But we could sit there. There's trees, there's shade, and the scenery there is going to be.
What about this is the guy in me, the tech guy in me. I see that and I go, oh no, we need lights, lots and lots of lights.
We might be baking in the sun. I'm not sure.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll make it work. We'll have lights and everything else. So it's going to be fun to see what happens. We'll cover that. We were going to bring, I'm glad I see the area because we were going to bring backdrops and stuff. And we don't got to bring any of that.
We ain't bringing nothing.
Nothing.
We ain't bringing a camera.
Lights and cameras. And that's it.
We're going to make sure we don't
lights.
Melt.
Yeah, lights. That's it. I'll bring the BVB banner as a tablecloth, but that's about it in terms of our space being out there.
100% bringing the glasses to the mirror, the glasses.
Yeah.
Through anything.
Yeah, forecast high is 69. It's tremendous. Can't wait. It's gonna be. It's not going to be
magic number. Unbelievable.
Well, it's gonna be 69, but also not even that. It's not going to be. We're by the water, so 69 by the water. It's going to be a little chilly, so it's jacket weather. So it's going to be perfect.
Oh, I already got the jacket planned. I think.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's easy now. After last night's baseball game, I think I know exactly what I'm wearing, just in case anybody has any thoughts or, remembers maybe who won or who lost the World Series. Might have something planned for that. This is going to be fun, man. I'm pumped. I was like, after Tuesday and the call and everything, I'm like, man, I hope we're not like out in some stall and we lose power or all this other stuff. I mean, this guy hit it out of the park. If that's where we're at, we'll be able to know. We'll know 100% if every horse takes a dump as they walk around that track, and they let loose usually on that track on that walk. Then they walk them right in and walk them to the gate.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. So looking forward to seeing that tomorrow. We will be there at 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock Pacific, 4 to 6 right here on our very YouTube channel from Del Mar. First ever going out there. Cannot wait. Should be a lot of fun. We got a bunch of good guests stopping by, owners, gamblers, jockeys.
I can't believe we're starting at Del Mar. He made a case for the Arkansas Derby, and that's fine. Oaklawn Park is nice, but right. I've never been there.
Nope.
I've been to the tracks in Florida, despite not being a horse guy. I haven't been to the tracks in New York. 100%. We have to figure out the
Saratoga. Yep. Toga is definite.
We're gonna do something with the Saratoga and the New York crowd that we can figure out a way to get to Boston or go south to.
Chef Benny, Mike Smith confirmed that yesterday on the show. I thought it was just superstition. He said, yes, there is something to it. If the horse goes to the bathroom before it runs, the horse is going to do well. I thought the guy's a load of baloney. It's not real. He was like, no, it's real. That's real? Oh, okay. Very cool.
Horses are like people. I mean, you know how good you feel after you take a dump? I feel great.
Don't know. I've never ran after. Never had to run a full-blown sprint within 5 minutes of doing it, so I don't know.
You know when the dog does the zoomies?
Yeah.
Doesn't it usually result in after the dump?
Yes and no, depending. Sometimes it's because the dog needs to go to
one or the other.
Yeah,
you get moving. When things got to move down there, you got to get moving. And then after you do it, you want to move more. It's totally real.
We'll see. Okay, what happened last night? The Dodgers won their 8th World Series title, beating the Yankees 4-1. Just the 8th time since 1994 that the team with the best record ended up winning the title. Freddie Freeman is your MVP with 12 RBIs, tying the record for the most ever in a World Series. There was no question about it, but the Yankees collapsed last night in the 5th inning. They were up 5-0, and they lost the game 7-6. 5 unearned runs, a dropped line drive, a failure to cover first base, and a balk. What was that last night by the New York Yankees, Dave?
Just, it was one of those ones we used to call it with the kids a snowball inning, where everything started with a little turn of something. It snowballed into an avalanche, and they couldn't stop it until it was too late. They were lucky it was tied. They had a shot to win the game still, and they did go ahead, and then not so much.
The Yankees last night, in terms of, what happened to them, not great. Largest comeback in a World Series clinching win tonight for the Dodgers. Entering tonight, the Yankees were 61-0 on the money line when leading by 5 runs or more at any point at home since 2022. This year, they were 48-0 when leading by 5 runs or more at home or on the road. In the postseason, when your pitcher goes at least 6 2/3 innings, allowing 4 hits or less, and your offensive output was 6 runs or more, teams were 109-1 in those baseball games. Make that 109-2 for another historic collapse, another historic choke job for the New York Yankees.
Start spreading the news. I mean, that just it's one of those, once again, you're watching it and you're going, oh no, it's really happening? Yeah, this is really happening.
Really happening.
They take the lead and you're like, I don't think they're going to hold the lead. I really, at no point, once it was tied, I was like, the Dodgers are winning. And then the Yankees went ahead, and Kendall's been adamant that the Dodgers are going to win. The kids back east were adamant, texting, they're going to come back. Jess was driving home, and she's like, what do you think? I said, the Dodgers are going to win.
5-0, you thought they'd win?
Well, I took 4.5 plus 130.
Okay.
I was like, I just wanted them to cover. But once they tied it.
Yeah, Yeah, once they tied it.
It was going to take another Volpe moment, like a bomb that gave them an extra lead because it never felt safe. Every guy that come out of the bullpen was gassed.
Yep.
Every guy. Boone did everything he could. I mean, he wore out the grass to the mound. He tried everything he could. Judge can't miss that fly ball.
Nope.
That was the one to me that it was so routine, that it was a squibber, a cue shot to Rizzo. And yeah, Cole should have ran over.
Should have. Come on.
He assumed because it was such a bad contact that, Rizzo's just going to run in and pick this up and touch first. And he took 3 steps and stopped instead of just continuing to go. Because I don't know if he would have beat him to the bag. When I looked at it again,
no, Mookie was flying.
Mookie was flying down.
But still, you got to make the play. You got to attempt to at least make the play. You can't sit there and watch it happen. You got to go try to be involved in it.
Yeah, he was gassed too, but that's not an excuse. He should have it looked like off the bat, because I thought the same thing. Off the bat, I'm like, oh, Rizzo's just going to pick this up and touch first. But it took a side spin towards second base when you watch the camera behind, because I was like, man, I remember, those balls, that Rizzo has to make sure at that point, I can't miss this ball.
Right.
So he has to stop his feet from moving and make sure he catches the ball. Well, as soon as he did that, he was done. The Volpe error, it's inexcusable. It's a ground ball to short. You have to get an out. If you can't get that out, throw it to second. You can't not get an out. So it is routine practice, Roper, as a pitcher. But man, oh man, you automatically do sprint over. He didn't. Yankees are done. There's where's Juan Soto going to end up? That's what everybody's talking about this morning.
He said afterwards he'll play for every team. Any team that wants him, he's open for business.
My goodness.
If you're the Yankees, you're like, oh my God. For the last time, by the way, in 2024, for this season, Ohtani watch. Ohtani wins the World Series going 2 for 19 with no RBIs. This is the biggest, sorry, Will. This is the biggest, oh, fuck moment in Major League Baseball. This is danger. Could you imagine if they go get Juan Soto?
No.
If the Dodgers Dodgers get Soto?
No.
He did nothing. Ohtani did nothing, and they went 4-1. That's got to be every Major League executive is going to be like, Jesus, we're in trouble. They won without him. It was like he wasn't even there. He didn't even, he was on base 3 times, and one of the times he popped his shoulder out.
They don't. Oh, thank goodness. 1-star Gorov. Good to see you here, sir. Congratulations. That's your team, I know. He said Dodgers don't sign Boris clients.
Yeah, they will for him, for Soto.
The rest of the National League should just shut it down. Sign Soto? Put him in that lineup too?
They have the money for it. Why not? If it's just money, why not? Build it. I would. You got some weaknesses in the outfield.
Kind of like the Dodgers. Come on.
Uh-oh. Soto and Skeens in 2024.
Now we're talking. Now, listen, let's start that campaign.
He means with the Dodgers, I think. Not with the Pirates.
With the Pirates. Skeens going to be with the Pirates. Come on. Oh, my gosh. That would be, you can have the city. What do you want? All of it. You get the park. You get the whatever you want. You can have that building, live in it.
Can Soto go back to the western, to the southern part of California?
No.
He can't. Well, he's a Padre. Can you go back to be a Dodger? Can you do that? Can you go, Padres, Yankees, Dodgers? How does that look when you go back to San Diego? Everyone says he's going to be a Met.
It's great for baseball if he's a Met.
Ohtani's going to pitch next year. Should he pitch next year? Just said the first ever 50 for 50 season. Should he really pitch next year?
I personally would discourage it, but again, without sitting with him and watching it, but I wouldn't let him pitch. I don't know. We just won with bullpen games, and we'll go get guys that pitch. You don't have to do that. Just hit, steal bases. It's enough. I don't know.
CBW just sent us this stat. Since 2013, the Yankees are 6-0 in playoff series against the AL Central, 0-6 in series against any other postseason opponent. Record-wise, the Yankees are 19-6 against the AL Central and just 10-24 against everyone else in the postseason during that same span.
Wow.
So they can beat the Royals and the Guardians and Twins.
Guardians. Yeah.
They can't beat anybody else.
I mean, there's a lot of questions with them.
Who?
Like
Yankees?
the
Oh my
Yankees.
God. A million. But how bent do you got to be Mike Trout this morning? You wake up today and you're like, that could have been me. It could have been me. I had a chance to go and play for a contender. I had a chance to sign with anybody. I could have signed with the Dodgers. I could have played for anybody I wanted to play for, and I chose to stay with the Angels. And Ohtani leaves, and in the first year, not only does he taste the playoffs, he wins the whole damn thing. He's a champion, something Mike Trout will never be.
Good to be Ohtani.
Oh,
I don't know. Like, I don't root for the friends to lose. Like, I mean, teammates and stuff. He's got to be like, yeah, I got a nice house.
No, I don't think he's got to be mad about himself. He can't be mad at Ohtani. He's got to be happy for Ohtani. He's got to be mad at himself. He's got to wake up and go, what did we do?
I don't know. They had him together. I mean, he couldn't stay healthy. They couldn't get pitching. That's a different thing. I don't think Trout. I don't know. I mean, you got to watch it and go, okay, who knows? Maybe he was watching the NBA yesterday. Maybe he was watching LeBron and Bronny.
There's no way Trout's healthy in October anyway.
I mean, that's fact, King of course. You're
it's
right.
True. It's very true. It's just wild that, like, I go back to April. Like, this is what makes baseball so interesting because the season is so long. So I saw the Dodgers play the Cubs at Wrigley Field in April. Like, I saw that was my birthday trip with Amanda. Like, that feels like another lifetime practically.
Unreal.
How long ago that was.
It's unbelievable.
And now it's here in October, and I watched Ohtani hit a home run. I watched a incredible lineup. And, we saw Paul Skeens pitch. I saw 2 games at Wrigley. I saw 2 games in person this season, both in Chicago, both at Wrigley Field. Like, that's just weird. It's just odd to me that I didn't go to
Ohtani hit a home run in a season where he went 50-50.
in Skeens.
And Skeens pitch no-hitter into the 7th.
Maybe rookie of the year, but probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I don't know. He
Could
might
be.
Get it.
You might get it.
But they'll wait 3 weeks now.
So dumb.
They should 100% let this cool off and then next week announce the awards.
Not let it cool off. Do it now. I would do it now.
Well, no, because we had game 6 and 7 scheduled for Friday, Saturday. So you let the weekend pass.
All right.
And then you
Monday
own next week.
Fine. Monday. Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
Right?
Let's do it on Monday. I'm down.
I don't understand what the wait is for. I don't get it.
It's just sometimes baseball can't get out of its own way. Sometimes it makes absolutely no sense what they do and why they do it. Speaking of making a lot of sense, what do you make of tonight? What do you make of the Texans catching 2 against the Jets? Totals going up. New York has lost 5 straight games, but they are favored in this one.
Yeah, the 6-2 team is a 2.5-point dog or 2-point dog to the 2-6 team.
Is it just this? Teams under 500 but favored against teams with a 600 or more winning percentage have gone 6-0 straight up and 4-0-2 against the number since 1990.
I mean, that's a fun little stat that definitely applies.
Are people betting it for that reason? The Jew says Jets are winning. Why do we think the Jets are winning?
Put it in the chat right now. Oh, in fact, give them a poll.
Okay.
So they can vote on a poll because we need to see the results. And no one has to call themselves out for voting on the Jets. You can just put the money line. Who's winning the game?
Okay.
HOUNYJ. The sharp money's on the Jets.
Yes, it is.
That's sharp money, man. That razor blades, they can't give up the Jets. They can't break up with the Jets. They won't do it. They're gonna be right. They are gonna be right. It's a Thursday night game. The home team wins Thursday night. The Jets can't possibly play as bad. Houston is beat up. I don't know. I'm trying to check the whole bingo card here of all the different things that you could say about this game. Good luck.
Devontae goes off. Why? Why does Devontae Adams go off tonight? I don't understand that. Why?
He's playing to not get traded?
I don't know.
I mean, do you believe that? Like, if the
What?
Jets lose, they break
Yes.
up. They break this little party.
If I
up?
was them, I mean, I don't think in New York they won't, because in New York I think that they're completely afraid. Tommy, what's going on, Tommy? Of course, Tommy. Of course, you're on the you're a razor blade, Tommy. We know you're on the Jets. We get it.
Tommy's coming to the show tomorrow.
Is he really?
Tommy's coming to Del Mar tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh my! Look out! That's tremendous.
Yeah.
I think I don't understand the idea that the Jets wouldn't do it, but I think that they would, but they can't because it's New York. So they can't punt on the season. They can't do it. The season's over. Win or lose tonight, the season's over. Doesn't matter. They can claim they can go and like fine. They're going to win 5 games in a row, whatever nonsense you want to believe. But the year is over.
I mean, the schedule is advantageous if they win this game.
Is it? Is any game advantageous for the Jets?
Yeah, they can win here. I mean, I got it here.
I'll tell you that they're on the road at the Cardinals, who are tough. They're at home against the Colts and Joe Flacco on Sunday night, if that game holds on Sunday night.
Oh,
Seahawks are at home.
Interesting. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Seahawks are at home. That's not a simple game for them. It should be a win. They're at the Dolphins, or at the Jaguars. They're home for the Rams, or at the Bills, and they're home for the Dolphins.
That's not as easy as it sounded 3 weeks ago.
Right.
The Cardinals have turned it around. If Flacco's playing for the Colts, I'm with Randy. I think he should have been playing all along.
All time, yes.
It's going to make him better.
Well, clearly, Steichen agrees, because that's why he said he's our quarterback from here on out. He wouldn't have said that otherwise.
Right.
So, he wouldn't have said that if he didn't think it was going to be a permanent thing. Right. So he's correcting a mistake. He should have been the quarterback the whole time. Now he's just saying, hey, look, it's my fault halfway in. He should have quarterback the whole time. He's our guy. That's our guy. I'm the other way on that, Roger. I'm going over. I think this game's going to be high scoring. I don't think this game's going to be low scoring.
Which side loses in this if you do the teaser?
Over.
We get this many points? 48?
Yeah, it's possible. 28-24. It's possible. I think offense is going to happen. I think neither defense can be trusted.
I like the over in the game.
Yeah, 40. It's going up. It's 42 and a half.
Just peak it. Not scoring 50 something points.
No.
I guess they could, but
44 is 24-20 is over. So it's scary low. 42. We're getting lulled into this. We're forgetting that football still is a scoring sport. Look what happened with the Steeler game. Everyone's like under, flew over. It was almost over at halftime. Yes, Houston does score more than 20. Yes. Guys, they still have offensive weapons. I think you guys forget. I know they're down 2 wideouts, but they still got players. Tank Dell's still on this team. Okay.
Thursday, short week, all that stuff. It matters. I don't know.
Defense can turn the ball over. Defense
can
turn the ball over.
I voted for Houston.
Okay.
I'm not buying the Jets nonsense.
Fair. College football, the number 1 team in the country, is laying 14.5 points on the road against Michigan. The last time Michigan was a double-digit home dog was in 2017. They lost by 11 to Ohio State. It's the 3rd time Michigan's been a dog at home. Just the third time this season. There's the 3rd time all time that Michigan's been a dog this many times at home. 1990 and 2009 were the others that this happened. Oregon going to go in there and destroy Michigan? It sure feels like it. They can't keep up.
I wouldn't be sad if that happened. I really wouldn't.
On Ohio State, Penn State week?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's possible.
I mean, I'd like to see the whole Big Ten lose this weekend. They all can't lose, but if Penn State wins, and Oregon's not losing, boys. If you're still in the BVB Survivor Big Ten contest,
Well, yeah. How many are left in
this
that?
would
It's a
be a
good
good
question.
week to be using Oregon, even though they're on the road.
Yeah, I wonder how many. Yeah,
they're not losing that game.
Oregon, Bergen. I agree.
Oregon,
Dan Lanning has been incredible against the number when he's a double-digit favorite on the road. They go in there and kill people. It's going to get ugly. I think Oregon destroys them. Army versus Air Force. This is interesting. So obviously, Service Academy, we're betting under, right? Since 2003, 50, 11, and 3 to the under when two academies play each other. It's an insane number. Hold on. The total is 42 in this game. Since the first Service Academy total over 40, this is the first time we've had one over 40 since 2022.
Okay.
Unders are 17-2 over the last 10 years with a total of 40 or more between two service academies. But Army's 5-2 to the over this year, and they're averaging 40 points per game themselves. Air Force is 4-3 to the under, and they give up 31 points themselves. Army might cover this by themselves. You might get like a 41-3 type final with Army and Air Force.
I didn't look at this game. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I'm looking
7-0 Army. You gotta start paying attention to Army. They may be in the playoffs.
Is this a game they could get upset?
No. Can't see it.
No, 22. Wow, totals 41. I hate these games.
Team total Army is probably the best bet.
Used to hate these games. Can it go favorite and under?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah, 30-0.
Yeah, that's okay. So the only way it goes under is if Air Force doesn't score at all.
Yeah, which is possible. We've seen it.
Army's at Notre Dame, November 23rd. Thank
2 weeks.
You.
Yep.
LL. Thank you, Adam, with 2 M's, 2555. Wow. All right.
There's 23 left. Only 2 have Oregon still available.
Oh my, thank you.
It's gonna get real in a hurry.
Wow.
Survivor's gonna get real. It's gonna get real quick with that. Air Force has got 2 field goals in them. Maybe. We'll see.
Next year we're doing Penn State at Ohio State in Columbus.
Ooh, all right. Florida, Georgia used to be an awesome football game. Outdoor cocktail party, all sorts of fun. Now it's in Jacksonville, and Georgia's favored by 16.5 points, and they are off of a bye, coming off of a monster win over Texas on the road. Kirby Smart off a bye is 20-3 straight up, and 15-1 in the last 16 games straight up, 15-8 ATS. Gators have any shot here? Dogs have been barking loud in the SEC.
The line's coming down. They played Florida plus the points. It's down to 14.5. I don't get it. There were some moves with the college football right before we started the show. It was big moving day today. So this will be interesting. I like Georgia. Met a guy this week, did some work with the Circus Survivor show. One of the guys that won it last year, his name is Kyle. His entry name is Jack's Jags. He's down to 3 entries left of
the 212.
He has 3 of them.
Ooh.
He had 20 to start the season, but he's playing with house money because he was one of the 4 winners last year.
Okay.
Came out to Vegas. We did an interview, did a bunch of stuff, but I talked to him. He's been to this game every year since 1990.
Wow.
And I didn't know until.
Is he from Jacksonville? Just a big dog or Gator fan?
He lives in Atlanta now.
Okay, drives down.
He goes to this game. Yep. He thinks Florida got a shot to upset them
outright.
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm telling you, they've gotten better. Nobody's looking at them. Georgia, this will be a letdown game.
Kirby off of a bye, though. No.
I was like, man, I don't know. And so I was going to have him on tomorrow, but we're not we're not doing guests tomorrow.
Right. No.
So I said, well, if they win, if Florida wins, you come on next week. We'll talk how many survivors you have left and all that other stuff. So got his information. Really nice guy. I think Georgia kills them.
Vandy is 5-0 against the number as a dog this year. Auburn is laying 7 at home. They've lost 2 straight games at home. They haven't lost 3 straight games at home since 2012. Give Vandy plus the points, or Vandy to go ahead and maybe win this game outright.
I don't know. Is this a like Felica says? Is this a dog with fleas?
I don't think so. Not against Auburn. This is a Vandy FU tour.
I have not watched 1 second. Oh no, take that back. I watched Auburn play Missouri.
Okay, what'd you think?
Not impressed with either team.
Nope. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, look, Auburn is bad. I mean, Cal went into Auburn and beat Auburn. Vandy can go in there. I can't believe the number. I don't understand 7. Makes no sense to me.
It hasn't moved. 7.5. A lot of places are just waiting to take it. Maybe they were waiting for it to go to 8. I don't know. I think it closes lower.
Sorry, I forgot about the Halloween drop. Backed up. Sorry, I forgot we had that. I apologize. We had that the first half of the show. Let's put it back in the second half of the show. Sorry, put that back up for the Halloween. Sorry. Iowa is 7-1 to the over this year. Let me repeat that. Iowa is 7-1 to the over. Wisconsin is 4-4. The total for this game is set at 40. Iowa was 21-6 to the under the last 3 years. But Iowa is favored in this game. And when Iowa is favored this season, 7-0 to the over when they are favored.
Where's the game being played?
At Wisconsin, I believe.
No, it's at Iowa.
Oh, even better. Even better.
Boy, Saturday is going to be great again. Saturdays have really lived up to the billing, and it's just getting better. This is not getting, there's some couple bad NFL games this weekend, including yours, Patriots, Titans. What the hell?
Where's that?
God, I can't. This is going to be a good game. Over to?
Yes.
Again?
Yes.
Is this for that axe?
Paul Bunyan, right?
Right? Is this at the Minnesota? Or no,
that's the nails.
Iowa and Wisconsin have something, don't they?
Paul Bunyan.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember. There's all these little things. And now they don't play each other every year. Used to be this, used to be that. I don't know.
They play for the Heartland Trophy. Excuse me. Iowa and Wisconsin play for the Heartland Trophy.
Oh.
Since 2004. It's a brass bull that measures 30 inches. 30 inches long, 18 inches deep. Mounted on top of a walnut base.
Did you make that up?
I did not make that up.
30 inches long and 18 inches deep?
No, 30 inches tall, 36 inches long.
You said
deep. 18 inches deep, yes. Mounted on top of a walnut base that lists the scores of the previous meetings. That is the Heartland Trophy.
That's the pig.
No, the pig is Minnesota.
Oh.
Pig is Minnesota.
Okay.
Oh, Wisconsin. Okay, Wisconsin, Minnesota is the axe. Okay, that's Paul Bunyan.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
18 inches deep is something. 30 inches long.
36.
Don't matter who I like
36.
if I got 30 inches long. It don't matter.
Yeah. They're playing for the Heartland Trophy, Wisconsin and Iowa.
That's
the NFL. We're into the part of the year. There's 2 things to keep in mind now that we hit November.
Skip SMU and Pitt for a reason.
No, because the game is sort of boring to me.
What?
Yeah. Okay. So
boring?
I did skip it for a reason. It skipped it because it's boring to me. It's a 7-point line. Okay.
They asked me this morning in Knoxville on the radio.
Yeah.
Is it worth getting a future on either one of these teams to make the playoff or win the playoff? I said, absolutely not. Save your money.
No.
I said, it's an interesting story. Pitt is undefeated. They're getting 7 points. 7.
Yeah.
And it's going to go one of 2 ways. Everything's going to come crashing down for Pitt. They're going to get blown out, lose by double digits, or they're going to win. If you're taking Pitt, they're going to win the game.
Yeah.
Worry about the 7.
Let me pull this up because I was looking at this morning and I was like, so
Texas A&M is going to South Carolina to win.
They should win.
They're 2.5 point, 3-point favorites.
Yeah, they should win that game.
You like Texas A&M? Better to book it.
Bet it.
Texas A&M. Okay.
Yeah, I'd bet it. The SMU numbers are bad for Pitt. Like I was looking
at it.
Matchup. It's a bad matchup. It's a bad spot for them. Yeah. And so I was like, the easy trigger pull is like, oh, go ahead and just grab it because it's easy here. This is from Evan Abrams. When it comes to this game, Pittsburgh is undefeated this season, getting rest after beating Syracuse on Thursday night. Undefeated teams straight up on extended rest in game 8 or later of the year. 64% straight up over the last decade, but just 46% against the spread. 9-13 when the game's on the road. Undefeated teams in game 8 or later as 6-point dogs are 7-27 straight up, 14-19-1 against the spread since 2010. Not good.
I ain't worried about all that crap.
Just saying, the numbers are bad. So it's a bad number, bad trends, bad juju going around.
Big Business is here saying hashtag pony up. Did people actually say that down there?
SMU, yeah.
They say pony up.
Pony Express.
I know that.
Yeah, that's why they say it. Pony up.
Pony up. What about Indiana, Michigan State?
Isn't pony up? Isn't that why people say when it's time to pay somebody, it's pony up? Because of SMU? Isn't that where that saying comes from?
I believe that probably Cowboys, before there was even an SMU college, were saying pony up back in the day. I think that's an older expression than SMU Mustangs.
You sure? That's old. That's the 70s. That's old. That's a long time
Indiana
ago.
Hoosiers of Michigan State before we
Indiana
jumped to this college.
runs them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Indiana runs them. 7.5, lay it.
Ew.
Yeah, Indiana kills them. I think Indiana houses them. Injury list. This is the time of the year, guys. Injuries, weather. Okay, we're into November. Okay, once you hit November, you start looking at injuries and weather when it comes to the NFL. Lamar Jackson, should be Lamar, not Lamar. Lamar Jackson, Andy Dalton, and Jordan Love, all banged up, all questionable to play this week. Keep a look at those because those numbers will change dramatically if Dalton's already out. We know that, but because Bryce Young's starting, but we don't know about Lamar Jackson. We don't know yet about Bryce Young. The AFC East sucks. Division is 5-15-1 against the number outside of competition involving AFC East versus AFC East. That's the worst mark through week 8 for any division since 1990. Division sucks.
Can't say we didn't tell you so.
The division sucks really bad. Jets.
I mean,
Dolphins,
as soon as
Patriots.
Tua got hurt,
yeah,
that made this division suck.
Bad. NFL dogs of plus 200 or better are 15-24 straight up this year. That's tied for the most wins through week 8 in the last 20 years.
So that's 15 out of 24 or 15 times they've
15
won
and
24 they've lost?
Correct. 15 and 24 total record where the number's been 200 or better. Plus $2 or greater.
Right.
Good luck.
So that's like 4.5 neighborhood.
Yep.
Favorite.
Tough.
No, if you're plus 200, it's closer to 5.5. Yeah, minus 240, 250. Okay.
So the public is hot last 3 weeks. 29-13-1 ATS. That's with tickets of 60% or more on one side. They opened up 48-69-2. Regression to the average as we head towards the second half of the NFL season. Ice cold to red
for
hot.
The bettors.
Yeah, basically 50%.
Yeah.
You're basically flat. You're basically even.
Yeah, 29 at 67, 77, and
2.
77 and 82 is the overall record for So it is almost 500.
Yeah, it's pretty much flat. Great game. Lions Packers. Dan Campbell, here for all you Lion fans. 45-25 against the number in the regular season. That's 64% of the time he's covering. That's the best of any coach in the Super Bowl era who have coached at least 20 games. Before you jump up and down, however, Matt LaFleur is 24-11 as a dog. That is also the best of any coach in the Super Bowl era, and he's also 20-15 straight up as a dog in the NFL. Perfect number, is it not?
Well, they're all the threes are gone. It's 2.5.
Okay, there we go.
I mean, it plays on Green Bay because I guess Love's going to play.
Okay.
That's what that indicates to me.
Right. Groin injury. I mean, they said he escaped a serious groin injury, so that would mean he probably is good to go to play.
It's Detroit or nothing for me right now.
Laying 2.5.
I don't care.
Road favorites in the NFL have been profitable. It's worked.
Been very good.
It's been very good.
Yeah.
You hate this, but it's true. Teams are 0-6 straight up and 0-6 against the spread in the week following facing the Detroit Lions. Titans are laying 3 against the Patriots this week. Patriots live.
Of course.
Straight up win. Straight up win.
I don't know.
That'll be win number 3, by the way. Win number 3.
I used to sit in the book and go, you know, and joke, but I wasn't because half the time they weren't. But I'd say, you guys watching the games? Who made this Tennessee -3, -3.5? What's wrong? I mean, if you want to make them favorite at home, make them 1.
It's worked so well for me. The Patriots win this game. 1, my over 4.5 bet is 100% live. Secondly, my under 6.5 bet for the Titans is 100% live. I love this opportunity. Mason Rudolph is playing quarterback. LL. It's Rudolph. Patriots. Who is playing quarterback for the Patriots is a better question. Does Drake May come back? That's gonna be the question.
I don't think so.
Practice yesterday.
Oh, well, I guess some people the concussion thing is shorter than others. Thought it was at least a week if not playing. But.
So he's in the protocol. There are 5 steps you have to make to get out. He's in step 3.
Okay.
So we'll see what today looks like. If he gets to step 4, step 5 is getting cleared. So he's halfway there to being ready to play on Sunday. Drake May plays. Drake May and the Patriots are winning the game. If he doesn't play, Jacoby can still win. It's just it's a tougher task for the Patriots. Could you imagine is Will Levis back?
More time on that game than anyone else in the entire country did on that game.
No, it's a good number right there. This is a very popular trend. Everyone's talking about teams after facing the Lions, how poorly they play.
Would you use the Titans in a survivor? Can you imagine being this late and you're going, okay, I'm going to use the Titans
in a survivor? That would be Looney Tunes to do that. One quick NBA, one quick NHL, and then we'll do better to book it in bonus time. Suns are laying 4 at the Clippers tonight. Late night NBA. Ooh. Really?
Yeah, I like Clippers. You?
Interesting. I like the under 221. So maybe I like Clippers too.
Okay.
I think the game is going to be a lower scoring, slower game. Clippers won't want to run with the Suns.
The real work starts now, boys and girls, for me, because the baseball's done.
Okay.
So I can super focus on the basketball and the hockey now, because I will not lie, I've been distracted watching the baseball, consumed by the baseball. Took a peek last night at the Devils again against the Canucks. That was pretty good.
Kings Knights game last night. Oh my god!
I watched the highlights only. I didn't
6-0 at one point, and then finally the Knights scored 2 goals. They got destroyed last night.
Might be a little bit of a problem with them on the road.
They got destroyed.
They're drastically night and day different.
Where they can't stop the puck. Period, home or away.
Yeah,
they just give up goal. I mean, they're just an over machine right now.
Yeah, but they look. I don't want to say slower, maybe more passive.
Okay.
On the road, something to keep
one hockey game, then we'll let you guys go on the replay. Bruins are tied for last in the Atlantic. They're on the road as monster dogs against Carolina, who haven't been great. Bruins need a win tonight. We're in the hat for the Bruins. I'm not betting it. Bruins just need a win, man. There's a lot of people who are getting real nervous with the Bruins.
Did the Celtics play today too?
No.
Okay. So no B's and C's.
No, and that's not going to play out. B's and C's parlay is not going to be a good idea to bet right now.
Right.
Bruins are not going to be one of the better teams in the NHL at this point. The Bruins are in deep trouble.
I don't know. You think Boston wins tonight?
No, but they need to.
Yeah,
I'm not betting it, but they need to. It's early still. Okay. You can recover and be fine, but boy, oh boy, they got to start showing me something. The East is not easy. There's a lot of good teams in the East.
Penguins and Ducks are going over. No?
Probably. You're always an over bet.
6.5. Let me click refresh and get the number. 6 flat. I should be 6.5. If you can find 6, I think you can bet the Penguin game over. How about Edmonton, Nashville?
It's in better to book it.
Oh, good. Okay. I'll
Good
save it for
We'll-
that because that was the
we'll
other game I looked at. And I got the Chicago stuff on. Sometimes these things pick me. Sometimes I pick them. I was like, you know what? I got to go as Caruso just to the parade.
There you go.
And I said, I wonder if the Bulls are playing. They're not.
Guys, if you're watching the replay or listening on SiriusXM, thank you. Tomorrow, Del Mar, big show. Hopefully, you guys will all watch and listen to it tomorrow. Got a lot of moving pieces to get to Del Mar tomorrow. Get on a plane, getting set up, getting up, and going to the game, going to the track. It's going to be wild. So hopefully, all you guys will be with us. Hopefully, we're on the air and things are cracking. If you guys are with us live, don't move. You get bonus time right now. And we fly into better. All right. Texans +8 over 36.
Has to be.
I believe I am 7-4 on my same game.
Be very surprised.
Primetime teasers.
Yeah, this is a bet.
We hit it Monday. Let's hit it Thursday. Texans keeping this game within a touchdown. Both teams scoring over. Even if it's a 7-point win, I think we're going to be good with this.
Yep.
24-17 Jets, and we're good.
Has to be.
College football. Tulane team total over 35.5 tonight against Charlotte.
Okay.
Average,
I won't even. I mean, I'll check the highlights just to see
it's gonna be a fun game. Tulane's got sick unis tonight. This is a good game.
Those helmets, those fun helmets.
This is a good game.
Oh, okay.
This is a good game.
Watch
Tulane is gonna house Charlotte. Charlotte gives up about 35 points a game. Tulane scores about 39 points a game. I actually like the under in this game because I don't think Charlotte's gonna score. So I'm worried about the 57 points. Because Charlotte won't score enough.
So you like the team total over, but you like the game under.
Yeah, because I don't think Charlotte scores. I need Charlotte to contribute. I don't know if Charlotte contributes.
You've actually made it where I want to say book it just because of that. You crossing the streams. Crossing the streams there.
No, I'm not betting the under. So I think it has a shot to go under.
Oh, okay.
40-10 goes under.
What is the current total?
57.
Wow. Okay.
So that's why I'm nervous about Charlotte not scoring enough.
All right.
So that's where I'm rolling. Yeah, could easily land between 37 and 47. Sure. Yeah. So I think team total for Tulane, they're going to air out. They're going to house. Just take the offense. Take the easier path, in my opinion, to get in with that. And then one hockey play. No goal in the first 10 minutes. Edmonton and Nashville. This is my scary play of the day. This is my Halloween scary play.
Okay.
Nashville has been very good to a first period, no gift, but it's Edmonton. I know it's not Connor McDavid, but it's Edmonton.
Right.
These two teams played on the 17th of October. 2 goals got scored in the first period, but at the 12-minute mark and beyond. First 10 was slow.
I don't know. I hesitant to do this. I think that I've hesitation.
Scary bet.
I pause. Yeah. It is.
It's a scary bet on Halloween.
I'll say book it. Yeah. I'll say book it.
All right. Favorite thing about today is what?
I got to take Kendall to school today, and it was just hilarious because Pap had surgery or something this morning. Grandma went with him. Jess went with him. So I was on full-time dad duty. Make sure the dog gets fed. Make sure the kid gets up. Make sure the hair's done. Make sure her lunch is packed, the whole deal. So we go to the bus stop, and we're walking out talking about getting candy and everything tonight, whatever we're gonna end up doing. And the kids back east sent us a box, something for everybody. for Halloween because
Nice.
Halloween's a big deal over here.
Okay.
It always has been. We do the family costume. We got something planned for tonight. It's going to be great. But there's peanut M&Ms for me. And there's plain M&Ms for everybody else. Like for Kendall, she likes it. And it sparks a discussion.
Okay.
And she's like, bro, it's plain M&Ms. And I was like, no, peanut M&Ms are better. And I literally took a picture of it and put it on Twitter and let people go all over the world answering this question. What is better, peanut M&Ms or plain M&Ms? And she goes, bro, only old people eat peanut M&Ms. Kids eat plain M&Ms.
Interesting.
And I was like, really? All right, bro. She goes, ask your Twitter people, see what they say. So I'm gonna get her after school. Pap's home. He's resting. He's good. I think it was just something with his eye or something. I don't know exactly what. But I can't wait to pick her up and see the comments from. I mean, guys, you're in the chat. You're still here. It's peanut all the way. There's Otto. Eron Sean says plain. Whitrock says peanut all the way. Do you like M&M peanut? Or I mean, peanut butter?
No.
It's too much. I don't like those.
No, I
don't want the peanut butter. JPC the fourth. Pieces are better than both. No, they're different.
I mean, I'll tell you this: when I'm at like the supermarket, and if I'm grabbing a quick thing just to munch on while I'm driving, it's a quick snack. It's like minus 200. It'll be a bag of peanut M&Ms.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, it's where I'm not telling you I like them better than regular M&Ms. I'm just telling you what I buy. I don't really buy regular M&Ms. I'll buy peanut M&Ms. I feel like they fill me up more. They taste better. They've got more flavor to it. Like it's just something I gravitate towards, whether I, do it consciously or not. I can't tell you the last time I bought a bag of regular M&Ms. I buy probably a bag of peanut M&Ms probably once or twice a month.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
I don't know, but she pointed out, like, a lot of kids that she goes to school with in 5th grade have never eaten a peanut or never come close to peanut or peanut butter or anything.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, oh.
There's a table at Madeline's school. There's a peanut allergy table. Like you get like pushed off. Like you're on the peanut, no allergy table, they call it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and there's Dave's Daily Picks. Good to see you. Sorry, I miss peanut M&Ms. Can't have nuts anymore. As you get older, sometimes the nuts thing hurts, whatever. You can't have them. That's my nuts don't hurt right now. But like, yeah, listen, we're in bonus time, so it's fine. Right. But it was a really interesting discussion. And then she gave me that, the kids know. The kids know, Daddy. I'm like, okay, thanks, bro. We'll see. So I don't know. It's a fun day. It's a fun time. I got to see another Halloween parade, and it was absolutely hilarious because I'm standing there and I asked the guy next to me to take a picture of me and my daughter, right?
Nice. Yeah.
So he's like, oh, yeah, sure. No problem. Takes a great picture. I get the text from my daughter at school.
Uh-oh.
The 10-year-old. She's like, you know who that guy was? I said, no, I just met him. I just said hello and we were talking. Why? Well, that boy's in my class. That's okay. I like him. And I was like, oh, you like the boy in the class? And I was talking, that's his dad. So now I have 2 questions to ask her. Is that the boyfriend? That's the dad? He's a cool guy. He was a very nice guy. And 2, you got to try peanut M&Ms.
From Dave's Daily Picks, appreciate the super chat. We probably won't beat them in the playoffs, but go Pacers. Way to beat those guys from out east. They beat the Celtics last night in overtime, but the team total hit, so it's good there. Hoosiers beat Smarty. Boston had a crazy run at the end of the game to put that game into overtime, and then unfortunately they lost it. The answer is that we probably won't beat them in the playoffs. No, you will not beat the Celtics in the playoffs. Sorry. When Porzingis is back, Sorry. No, not happening. But thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. For me, it's similar. I went to Madeline's holiday parade today, Halloween parade today. You've had it 3 times. This is my first. When you tell me it's the last time, I start to go, oh, that's interesting. That was the last time Madeline will have a Halloween parade at school. She's had one for 6 straight years. Every Halloween, the kids come out, they walk, the parents take pictures, they all do it.
It's over.
She looked at me.
School's coming.
She looked at me and said, Daddy, you know this is my last time. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, this is my last. I go, you're not going to do it in 6th grade? She goes, no, when I go to 6th grade, we don't do it anymore.
Nope.
I was like, oh. She's like, so you're going to be there, right? I was like, yeah, I've been there every other year. Why wouldn't I be this year? She's like, no, I really want you to be there. This is the last time that she called me last night. And she's like, you know where you're going, right? And I was like, yeah. She's like, 10:20, I want you in the courtyard. And I was like, okay, I'll be there at 10:20. So I was there at 10:20. And it was just seeing it and going like, damn, that's the first time I've heard that. The last time. She's freaking 10. But hearing that it's the last time your kid's going to do something that you've been doing for a long time hit me in a place. I was like, whoa, okay. That was a little hard to hear.
That's why I take pictures of everything. I take pictures of them walking.
Right.
Like when I'm behind them or, anywhere we go. I take pictures and just get them all here or at least get them on the phone. It's, as you really never know.
Right.
I mean, but when they tell you, find a way, we'll start the show late. Yes.
Right.
I mean, we're blessed to be in that position. Jess was at work. She left for work today. She took everybody to get his eye operated on or whatever, and then came home. And I saw her in between us starting the show and me going to do the parade. And I go, you going to the parade? She goes, no, I have to go to work. She said, but you have to go to the parade. Okay. Done. So I called the guys in Knoxville and said, I'm going to be a couple minutes late because I'm going to parade. Take the time. That's all I tell people all the time. They are only young once, Blue Spader. Take the time, man. Take the time.
Yeah, it sucked. It was like, man. So Halloween tonight. We'll leave you with this, guys. Listen, I know our audience is pretty responsible, but for anybody listening or watching or whatnot, it's Halloween. Kids are hyped up in candy. They're going to run around. They're wearing dark costumes. Some of them don't pay attention. Be safe tonight, guys. If you're driving around, be safe tonight, guys. I've seen parents like to drink while their kids are trick-or-treating. That's fine, but just be careful driving tonight. These are, if you're in a part of the country where you have leaves on the ground and it might be wet around you, it's just, this is one of those holidays that can really turn tragic quickly if things don't go the wrong way. So just keep your wits about you. Keep your kids close to you. Have a good time. If you're going out, at least in Vegas, dress them warm because it's going to be flipping freezing tonight. It's low of 40 degrees tonight here in Vegas. That is no joke here. That is a brutally cold time. I feel bad for the kids. I told Madeline, I was like, you better bundle yourself up. You're going to be frigid. It may put a damper on how long the kids are going to be out trick-or-treating tonight. It's all hot on the East Coast. It's all hot. These kids are 70 degrees in New England. They can't wait to get out.
This morning, it's going to be 80 there today.
It's going to be New York, Maryland, all that area. They're jumping up and down today. If you have their kids go out, it's going to be wild. Our thanks goes to Randy Moss, not that Randy Moss, the NBC Sports Randy Moss. Thank you for being here. Adam Bjorn from Prime Sports as well, coming in here on a Prime Thursday. We will talk to you next, later start time than normal, okay? It's a 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time start from Del Mar. Now, keep on the Discord channel, okay? On thebvbshow.com, direct link to our Discord channel. We will tell you if there's been any flight delays, any issues, any problems. We will keep you abreast as to what's going to happen. The show might start later than 1 o'clock if there are technical and other travel issues. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. Hopefully we're at the track at 10:30 tomorrow morning and we're set up and we're good to go. And we're going to rock it for you guys for 2 hours from Del Mar from the Breeders' Cup. So we'll hopefully have information. I'll be on our Discord channel in the morning, giving you guys updates and pictures and sights and sounds. So tomorrow, thanks to the Breeders' Cup at Del Mar, live roadshow. Dave and Matt will talk to you from Del Mar, San Diego tomorrow for BVB.